wake your ass up because it's time to go beast mode.
This is a different type of video from what I've made so far, but I thought that the topic was interesting. So a while ago, I heard about the jacksepticeye thing where he said that it's not the content that has changed, it's how you felt at the time. You've changed as a person. And I do think that there's some truth to what he says. And I might be too young to really understand what he really means by that. But I, at this time, disagree with that perspective. I believe that he did say this because he believes in it himself, but I also believe that they're partially due to him wanting to maintain his viewership and, not have people unsubscribe or whatever because content has changed. I understand this, and I don't have any personal issues with him. I just find this topic intriguing and worth discussing. I believe that this statement is false because people change, their preferences and sense of humor evolve, like he said. However, I also believe that we change in tandem with the world around us. Like if you, for instance, look at content from 2012, it was much more raw and often considered cringe by today's standards. But back then, the internet was in its early, almost like teenage phase, where some cringe was to be expected for, growth in a way. As the internet was growing and evolving. And that type of humor was normal for many people at the time. And then the internet entered a more edgy phase where cringe content was condemned and cringy cultures were suppressed. And this shift significantly reduced such content over the years. Having cringe humor became less acceptable, which I believe marked the start of a decline. And I've seen many people point to 2016 as the turning point, which I agree with. And that also coincides with monetization issues on YouTube, making content creators more conscious of their content. And the internet has since become a major source of profit and success, which has, over the years, attracted mainstream media and advertising. And this shift has brought about increased censorship and stricter rules. While some of these changes are beneficial, many have had negative impacts. Due to censorship and the reliance on profit, content is really similar to each other and using, similar formulas that do work, but it feels like it lacks personality. When creators can't fully express themselves, it can make their content feel disconnected or bland. And I believe that when the internet was more open and accepting of different perspectives, and of course not always perfectly so, it allowed for more genuine, diverse content. Experimentation and weirdness was okay. Nowadays, it feels like you can't speak your mind without facing repercussions. While it's important to not promote harmful speech, minor slips like using the word suicide instead of unalive or even cursing can lead to punishment, which is kind of crazy. But it is also understandable because moderation online is crucial, considering the diverse backgrounds, cultures, and ages of internet users. However, this diversity can hinder the overall flow of content. I believe it's fine to be sensitive, but punishing others for not sharing your beliefs disrupts the creative process. Being labeled as hurtful can now stem from a single offhand comment rather than actually abusive or violent behavior. And the vast array of opinions online makes it difficult for a cohesive content flow to exist. I also believe that there are positive aspects like, heartwarming stories and moments of love and fun. But what I'm talking about are in regards to the feeling of content having shifted from a while ago. For content creators whose job is to entertain a diverse audience with varying tolerances and opinions, the risk of backlash is actually really high. They must tread pretty carefully, always considering advertisements and audience reactions. This necessity often leads to more watered-down content compared to the early days of YouTube, where creators had more freedom. In my opinion, people felt freer with their content during YouTube's earlier days, making it more enjoyable due to the evident passion and enjoyment behind it. While there's still passion today, it is layered with having to follow a certain formula, creating uncertainty, worry, and a need for fairness. The audience and advertisers now have the power to bring down creators with a single misstep. Therefore, I believe that the lack of freedom and the need to follow trends for algorithms and revenue have made content more monotonous. While amazing videos are still being made, the landscape is different, and humor is less accepting of cringe and being yourself. Creators are more cautious, limiting their options to avoid losing their audience. In conclusion, I think both people in the world have changed, and this has altered content creation